And fight fans, welcome to mindforcombat. If this is the first time you've checked out my channel, support me to grow my MMA community by subscribing to my channel. Also help me by sharing this video with all the fight fans that you know to help me grow my community as big as possible. This whole project for me has been about engagement and engaging and interacting with as many fight fans as possible. This is not something that I'm just doing for myself. It's something that I'm doing for everyone to be able to have objective, unbiased discussions about mixed martial arts with other fight fans like themselves to support me to be able to reach that goal. So now let's get into the breakdown for this fight. In this day of money fights, this is a fight that isn't about the money. For fight fans, this is about something much more than money. It's about excitement, thrill, and violence. Just bleed, bro. This is going to be the perfect fight for Just Bleed fans. It's Jeremy Little Even Steven taking on rising top prospect Zabit Magomedsharipov in determining whether or not he's going to make that transition to the top 10, top 5 of the featherweight division. This is a very key and important fight. So let's have a look at this fight, shall we? So Jeremy Stevens, you've got a veteran mixed martial artist who has been around at the top of the game at 155 and at 145 for a very, very long time. He's been with UFC going back to 2005. He's got so much experience in the UFC and MMA in general. But he's still relatively young. So let's get into the tail of the tape. Jeremy Stevens is 32 years old. And now 32, whilst doesn't sound very old, he's got tons and tons and tons of MMA mileage. You can kind of compare him to Mauricio Shogun, who at 29 years old had already looked like his best days were behind him. And he's taking on Zabit Magomedsharipov, who's 27 years old, in the physical prime of his career, who's still got the length of his career ahead of him as opposed to behind him, and I don't think that's the case with Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens is 28 and 15 coming into this fight and he lost his most recent fight to Jose Aldo. He's had 43 professional fights. That's a vast amount of experience over Zabit Magomedsharipov, who's 16 and 1 coming into this fight, and that's all of 17 fights. That's a huge difference. Jeremy Stevens has more than double the fights that he does. That's crazy. That's something to consider, and I'm someone who thinks a lot about experience, so that's something that we need to really think about in this fight when making this prediction. Jeremy Stevens stands at 5 foot 8 inches tall as opposed to Zabit Magomedsharipov, who's 6 foot 1.5. So we're talking 4.5 inches, 4.5 inches in height, which is also reflected in the reach advantage because Jeremy Stevens has a 71 inch reach and Zabit has a 73.5 inch reach. So 2.5 inch reach advantage there for Zabit. I wish that we had the tail of the tape for the leg length because that's going to be key in this fight, but if I had to venture a guess, Zabit would have a huge advantage there. I think that would be a pretty safe guess as well on my end. So I think size and length is going to play a key role in this fight, particularly the type of fighters that they both are. This is going to be handled on the feet. Jeremy Stevens likes to strike, Zabit likes to strike, and I think on the feet, Zabit's going to keep it at a good length. So I think Zabit's got a nice advantage there on the feet. Their style. So Jeremy Stevens is a brutal knockout artist. He's a striker with huge power and he's a kickboxer. He kicked the life out of Gilbert Melendez's legs in his when they fought, and he head kick KO'd Ronnie Jason. He's been knocking out guys on the feet with his punches. Huge power by Jeremy Stevens. Zabit's got a more well-rounded game. You've seen him grapple. He got a submission in his last fight, but he's also a very unorthodox striker. He'll throw what Nick Diaz likes to call spinning shit. So you've got to bear that in mind with Zabit. So that's something that bears considering coming into this fight. This is a great stylistic fight for both of them. Okay, key wins. If I'm honest with Zabit, it's going to be quite easy because, in my opinion, and remember this is my subjective opinion about this, Zabit doesn't have any key wins to speak about. 16 and 1 overall. He's 3 and 0 in the UFC, but he hasn't beaten anyone that I thought, oh my god, that's a good win. No, he's beaten quality journeymen, but that's it. Whereas Jeremy Stevens, he's beaten Gilbert Melendez. Granted, the older Gilbert Melendez, but he's beaten Gilbert Melendez. He knocked out Josh Emmett. He beat Doohoo Choi. He took out Sam Stout back in the days. And if you guys are new to MMA and don't know who Sam Stout is, check out some of his stuff as well. He also knocked out Rafael Dos Anjos once upon a time, and granted it wasn't the same Rafael Dos Anjos, but he has got that W on his ledger. So there's a vast difference of experience, particularly at the highest level in mixed martial arts between these two gentlemen. Issues. But Jeremy Stevens, he's got a one-dimensional attack. He's come to strike, he's probably going to try to take your head off. You don't have to worry about his ground game, and that's something that fighters have exploited over the years. And then with Zabit, he's unproven. Don't actually know how good he is. Who has he beaten for us to be able to sit there and say, yeah, he's amazing, and there's tons of hype behind him. I'm a huge fan of his, and I'm a believer in his potential. But who has really beaten? Nobody. He hasn't really beaten nobody. So bear that in mind when we're thinking that. That's a definite issue. When the X factor for Jeremy Stephens is going to be his big power. He can knock you out at any time. He's also got tons of experience, as opposed to Zabit, whose X factor is going to be his youth, freshness, and dynamic game, dynamic fighting game. He's also a more well-rounded fighter, and I see him probably using his grappling in this fight. How do I see this fight is going to play out? I think Zabit's going to use his kicks to keep Jeremy at a length. He's going to avoid getting tagged by Jeremy's big shots, and I think he'll even tie in some wrestling there. I think Jeremy's going to get very frustrated, and as he gets more frustrated, I think he becomes more predictable. I don't think he's going to be able to land on Zabit, and I'm picking Zabit to be able to get the unanimous decision in this fight. I think that's the key thing here is going to be Zabit's length and his ability to wrestle. I think if it does get close enough for Jeremy Stephens to be able to land a dirty uppercut or something like that, I think Zabit's just going to tie him up and he's going to take it down, and I think that's how this fight's going to play out. So my prediction is that Zabit's going to get the decision win over Jeremy Stephens. Is going to move on to bigger and better, and Jeremy Stephens, I look forward to seeing him rebound. I hope he sticks around. So guys, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about how you think this fight's going to go. And the lights have gone off here, so I guess I've been sat down for a bit too long. Anyways, thank you guys. Please comment below. Mind for Combat.